Hi guys, in another video. I've got this Begode's T4 electric unicycle. This is what it was like when it was up and running. But as you can see here, it's been dismantled. I didn't dismantle it because it's got a problem with the bearings. And let me just show you here. This is these are just the side covers. That's the side cover there. And it's all been stripped down because of the problem with the bearing. And that's the armature, part of the main motor. And you've got the stator, which is around the outside, the magnets. This is the bearings here. They've become noisy, and I think the weather's got inside of them, and they've been removed. I didn't remove any of this, but I've got to put it back together. And I've been supplied with these new pair of wheel bearings to replace. And like I said to you, it was dismantled, not by myself, but I'm left with the job putting it back together. So this is one of the side covers. I'm not sure what way it goes around when you fit these bearings, whether they fit them to the actual motor, armature, or the side covers. But I'm going to fit them with side covers first. So here you can see me just cleaning this area here, because that's where the bearings slide into on one of the covers. Just get it nice and clean, because I've got to slide the bearing into that, and that's both sides nice and clean there. So just going to use a bit of grease and just rub it around the area which the bearing's supposed to slide into, as you can see there. And then once that's done, I'm just going to put a bit of grease also around the outside of the bearing, as you can see there, all the way around. Should help it to slide in and out when if ever the time comes. Okay, so I've lubricated the bearing, so I'm just going to pop it on this piece of wood because I don't want to damage the aluminium. And then all I'm going to do is, to make a start, I'm just going to hammer it halfway in, striking the bearing race on, that's the outside of the bearing. You can see there, just want to get it nice and flat. If I had a hydraulic bench press I could, but I haven't. I've just got this wind up press, so I'm just going to use my press and these metal spacers, press it in. And let me just show you here, every time you hear the pop and the ping, as you heard there, that's the bearing squeezing in. The noise is there. So I'll just undo that. That's that bearing fitted. So I'll just do my clamp tool here, so that I can show you once I've got it off. The bearings are squeezed in. Just show you here. That's that bearing squeezed in. And I've got to do it to the other side as well. To show you the outside, you can see the bearings well seated against its housing. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Like I said, I've got to do both sides. This is just one side. Okay, I've got both bearings squeezed in. So now what I'm going to do is just give the covers a clean. You see they're very dirty, and I'll just put a bit of, mask it off with a bit of paper, mask the bearings off with a bit of paper, because what I'm going to do is just give them a touch of spray, because they're all scratched up, get them looking a little bit more decent with the cosmetics. And then turn my attention to the wheel while the paint's drying. You see the wheel's well dirty, so I'm just going to give that a clean also. It does scrub up quite well. Just getting rid of all the soap here, and that'll do for the one day. Okay, I come back the next day. Just got to reassemble it. Got the fixing screws there. So what I'm going to do is, got the wheel there, and I've just got to pop the armature inside, and it's got the stator on the outside of the wheel, which will drag the armature in. And you saw that snap in there, so it's just a magnet, we'll pull it in. And then all I've got to do then is get a bit of a silicone sealant and just run it around the rim where the cover goes to keep the weather out so you don't get any water leaking in. And now that that's done, I've just got to press these bearings on. Can't use my press on this because there's a wire coming through the middle and there's no way to press it, so I'm going to have to give it a whack with the hammer. So I'll just put it on this pole here, and then what I'm going to do, I've got this old bearing race here, I'm going to use this to whack it down. As you can see there, I've put it in place, so I'm just going to take my time and whack around each side until you can see the cover start to go down. Fit nicely onto the wheel. As you can see there. And then what I'll do is just remove this bearing race. Because I'm just going to flip this wheel over and do the other side. Let me just remove this cover here. Because like I said, there's a wire sticking out, so what I'll do is just tuck the wire inside this pipe. Once I've tucked it inside this spacer here, I'll just stick the pipe wire inside there and rest it on there. That way I can whack the other side on. Before that, I'll just put a bit of sealant around this side, like I said, to keep the weather out, stop water getting in. Just put it around where the bolts go, and same process as before. Bit of grease around where the bearing goes onto the armature, main motor, and somehow that part just went straight on. Didn't have to press it or hammer it at all. Went straight on. But it is a good seal anyway, tight fit. So what I've got to do now is just, I think there's about 15 bolts go around the outside. Just got to bolt them in, but I'll speed this section up because there are quite a few bolts. And I'm just bolting them up in sequence, one bolt opposite each other. And here you can see just final tightening here. I'm going around them individually. That's the one side done. Just give this a clean up. Just give it a wipe. Okay, so I should be able to finish this off on the bench because the wire sticks out this side. So I'll just chuck it back on my bench there. And I'm just going to put the screws in. It's not quite shut yet, but I'm just going to put the screws in place. And let me just show you here. It's the bearings lifted away from the cover. So what I'm going to do, just get a bit of get that bit of timber again so I don't scratch anything. Just give it a whack with the hammer. Just whack it round till it seats correctly. And to give you a close up here, you can see it's seated correctly now. So all I've got to do is tighten the screws up, and I'll do that lively, like I said, in sequence, one opposite each other. And then once I've got that nice and tight, I'll just go around and individually tighten each one. And just show you here, that's the job complete. As you can see here, looking a lot better. The wheel is fully assembled. And I'm going to hand it back to whoever dismantled in the first place for them to finish off the scooter. But I'm pretty satisfied with that. And let me just show you the center, the spindle turns, as you can see there, so it's nice and loose. So with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.